Happening in today's Culture Pass, the Museum of International Folk Art explores the fiery, passionate, and unmistakable art form of flamenco, now in their Hispanic Heritage Wing. The exhibition traces its roots from southern Spain to the New World, and of course, its influence here in New Mexico. Flamenco is respected and recognized worldwide for its passionate performance, stunning displays of strength and discipline, and folkloric roots in Spain. The Museum of International Folk Art in Santa Fe is now celebrating this tradition with flamenco, from Spain to New Mexico.
It developed over a long course of history. The first thing to come was the song. It is said that it started during the Inquisition when the Gitanos and Jews and Muslims were kicked out of Spain, and largely a gypsy tradition, Gitano tradition. They took off into the mountain caves of Andalusia. It is said the first cries or laments that were cried out were the first origins of flamenco cante. However, on further study, we do know that other influences within Spain also fed into the flamenco tradition, creating what we know as flamenco today.
The show illustrates the colorful traditions of flamenco, including instrumentation, playbills, costumes, and painting, all showcasing the bridge between two worlds through art and culture.
To the U.S., there were several waves of Spanish dance and music coming over. So the 19th century, you had Fanny Elsler, who was an Austrian dancer, famous for doing Spanish ballets and Spanish folk dances. So it was the first wave of introducing Spanish dance, not particularly flamenco, but getting the audience ready for flamenco. By the end of the 19th century, another dancer, Carmencita, came over, and this rode the wave of what is called the Spanish craze, when art, culture, literature, all things Spanish were in vogue in the Americas.
South American destinations led to the north and to the hub of American culture, New York. Artists like playwright and poet Federico Garcia Lorca would maintain residence in the city, infusing the new world with old art forms like flamenco.
And that kind of set the stage for large theater productions, along with other acts coming in and doing smaller theatrical venues at that time. And it took on and stuck, and people settled in the U.S. and started teaching lessons and passing down the tradition here.
And the tradition found its way to the Southwest and to the land of enchantment.
In New Mexico, flamenco is largely a 20th century phenomenon, even though people generally think, because we have a longer than 400-year history now, it was Spanish heritage, people often think flamenco came 400 years ago. Not true, because it was still in its early development in Spain. So 20th century, once it's a theatrical art, once there's touring companies, it comes into New Mexico via these tours and routes. However, we already had Spanish dance here, folkloric traditions, classical music, so we did have Spanish dance and song. So when flamenco starts coming into the state, it's widely accepted, and there are several different families and individuals that really help develop it into the scene that we know today.
And thanks to New Mexico's penchant to embrace culture, flamenco is poised for a long life ahead.
A very strong performance tradition, community. After performances, people would share and pass music to each other, pass songs, just like it's done in Spain. So it became a part of our heritage. And one of the really great things is we have several families in New Mexico now where they're 4 generations strong, like the Encinias family in Albuquerque, 4 generations strong of a flamenco tradition now. So it has been going on for a while. We have other parents handing it down to their children. We also have Spaniards that have come over while touring the state and have decided to settle here and live here because they feel very at home and comfortable here, and they're passing along that flamenco tradition. So we've become kind of a mecca within the United States of flamenco.
For more information on how you can explore and celebrate flamenco, head over to foxnewmexico.com. Flamenco from Spain to New Mexico runs now through September of 2017 at the Museum of International Folk Art, located on Museum Hill in Santa Fe.